This video will go through examples with arithmetic series. Find the sum of the first 6 terms where A1 equals 13 and D equals -4. Since we know the number of numbers and the difference, we can use our second formula for the sum, which was 2 times A1 plus D times n minus 1 all times n over 2. So we can just plug in numbers. 2 times 13 plus -4 times 6 minus 1 all multiplied by 6 over 2, which is 26 minus 20, or 6 times 3, which gives us 18. Find the sum. For each of the formulas, we have to know the number of numbers. So the way we can find that is by using our formula for the nth term of the sequence. We're going to say that 20 is our nth term. A1 is -7 plus n minus 1 times, and our difference is D. Now, using this, we can solve for n, and we find that n equals 10. And now, we can apply either the first or the second formula we learned. I'll just use the first. S equals A plus B times n over 2. So our first term is -7. Our last is 20. We have 10 numbers. Divide that by 2. And so what we end up with is 65. Harry swam 10 laps one day. Each day after, he swam 2 more laps than on the previous day. He has swum 90 total laps. How many days has he been swimming? So from this word problem, we are given A1, which is 10, D equals 2, and our sum equals 90. We can use our second formula for the sum. It says sum equals 2A1 plus D times n minus 1 all times n over 2. And so now we can just plug in our numbers. 90 equals 2 times 10 plus 2 times n minus 1 times n over 2, or 10n plus n times n minus 1. With a little bit of rearranging, we get that that equals n squared plus 9n minus 90 equals 0. We can factor that as n minus 6 and n plus 15. And our only positive solution for n is n equals 6. So that means that Harry has been swimming for 6 days. Convert to sigma notation. So we have this sum here. We'll say that this is equal to I equals 1. 9 is represented by I equals 2. Then our formula for these numbers is A of I equals A1 plus I minus 1 times D. And then we can plug in our 44 here to figure out what I that corresponds to. So that'll be 44 equals 2 plus I minus 1 times, our common difference is 7. So that's 2 plus 7i minus 7, or 7i minus 5. That means that I is equal to 7. And so now we can write our sigma notation. I starts from 1 and it goes to 7, and the formula is 2 plus I minus 1 times 7, or 7i minus 5. We want to evaluate this in sigma notation. So what we can do is start with I equals 1 and plug in the function. So 1 plus 2 times 1. Then we're going to add that to 1 plus 2 times 2, 1 plus 2 times 3, and go all the way down until 1 plus 2 times 6. This means that our first term is 3, 5, and we're going to go down until 13. We can use our formula for the sum. Sum equals a plus b times n over 2. In this case, we know that a equals 3 and b equals 13. And then n equals 6 as given by the sigma notation. So our entire sum is equal to 16 times 3, or 48.